Who will start for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish this year? I'm going to go over that. I have a depth chart in front of me. Shout out to ND Insider. I'm not going to agree with all their picks, but the majority of them, yes. It is just spring ball. I'm filming this video on April the 8th, 2021. Their first game is September 5th in Tallahassee, Florida against Florida State. So we got a while to go. We have fall camp, the rest of spring ball, the spring game. There's a while to go, but I guess this is a spring preview. I'll probably make another one of these videos early in the summer after the spring game concludes, and then probably again in the fall right before the season starts. But right now, I believe the quarterback will be Jack Cohen, and the running back will, of course, be Kyron Williams. Expect to see a lot more Chris Tyree. I expect maybe even 30, 40, 50% of the plays will involve two running backs. Chris Tyree is bound for a big year next year, and Kyron Williams is poised for a big year this year. The outside receiver, I agree with Braden Lenzy. Slot receiver, I agree with Avery Davis. I could really see Lorenzo Styles getting some big-time opportunity on special teams, punt returning, and then maybe even kick returning. Chris Tyree held that duty last year. I'm not sure if he keeps that. Notre Dame starts three wide receivers. They like to use two tight ends, but I'm not huge on George Takis or Kevin Bauman. I think Michael Mayer will be the lone tight end for most of the sets. They will, of course, use two tight ends occasionally, but right now my starting wide receivers are Braden Lenzy, Jordan Johnson, and Avery Davis. You will see some Kevin Austin once he gets healthy again, and you will see some Lawrence Keys. But right now, that's who I expect to play a lot. Tight end, Michael Mayer. Left tackle, it's Jarret Patterson. I don't think Tosh Baker and Blake Fisher are ready quite yet. I could really see Blake Fisher moving over to right tackle and getting some playing time there. But right now, Jarret Patterson was recruited as a tackle out of high school. I'm going to note that. And I think he starts at the left tackle position, holding down Jack Cohen's blind side. Left guard, we've seen a lot of Rocco Spindler in camp. He's been performing very well, but I think Dylan Gibbons, the graduate's fifth-year senior, holds things down this year. Center, Zeke Correll. I actually think Zeke Correll is going to have a huge, huge year this year. I'm really, really liking where he's at. I believe he started 3 games last year once Jarret Patterson went down and played admirably in all those games. But he was only a sophomore, true sophomore, 19 or 20 years old, so need some more experience, but this year I expect him to probably be the second best offensive lineman behind Jarret Patterson, and then next year that would be his big year for the draft. Right guard, I'm expecting Josh Lugg, if he does not start a right tackle, to hold down the right guard spot, but some people are saying he will. Now the right side will be a little bit more shaky. I'm not huge on John Dirksen. I could see Blake Fisher possibly playing right tackle this year, or even Michael Carmody, and then Josh Lugg playing right guard. I don't know. The left side, in my opinion, is more well-manned than the left is more well-manned than the right, but it is what it is. They're young. We'll see what happens. I would definitely prefer younger guys getting playing time over older, just because I think this freshman and sophomore class will be really, really talented in a few years. Outside boundary receiver, Kevin Austin. My receivers, if I could name a few, I don't think really 3 will start the whole year. I think it'll be more of a mix of Joe Wilkins, Kevin Austin, Braden Lenzy, Jordan Johnson, Avery Davis, and a little bit of Lawrence Keys. You might see some Xavier Watson and Lorenzo Styles as well. Moving over to the defensive side of the ball. At the end, I think it'll be a mix of Isaiah Foskey and Jordan Botello. Myron Tungvailoa Amosa did, in fact, move over to defensive end. I don't know how I feel about it yet. I'm going to be completely honest. But we will see. I loved him as a defensive tackle right there with Kurt Heinisch, but we'll see. Marcus Freeman, new defense. I trust him. So, yeah, Isaiah Foskey and Jordan Botello will really be the two Viper guys, I guess. Down in the dirty parts of the defensive line, I expect Kurt Heinisch to play probably 85 to 95% of the snaps. And the other defensive tackle, I'm really liking Riley Mills. I've never been a huge Jason Amaloa fan, I'm going to be completely honest. And I really, really like Riley Mills. He's my breakout defensive candidate player. So I do expect Riley Mills he might not start right away, but I think he could grow into that starting spot. Huge Riley Mills fan. And then the other defensive end, like I just said, Maritung Railoa Mosa. Is this Alexander Ahrensberger's year? I don't think so. I think he needs probably one more year. But I love him, and he has gotten big. There have been some recent pictures. He's big now. I think in a few years, maybe 1 or 2 more years, he could just come out and be absolutely dominant. Mike Ellison is training him. He's going to be a secret weapon in a few years. Watch out for him, the former 3-star from Germany. I don't even know if he was ranked. I think he was a 3-star. Going down to the backers, Drew White, I expect to start yet again. Bo Bauer, of course, they were there with Clark Lee. I think they were both recruited, though, by Mike Elko. Both super talented. Drew White, I think this will be his big year. He needs a big year to be in the day 2 draft range. Bo Bauer, I think, is more of a 6th, 7th undrafted type guy, but I love the energy he brings on special teams and when he's there in the backfield and in the linebacking position. Weak side linebacker, Shane Simon, I think will have more of an expanded role. I love both Shane Simon and Mars Leofau. Leofau has been banged up, has not really been competing. Shane Simon has. That will definitely have an effect. But we'll see. It's really up to Marcus Freeman. He is the linebackers coach as well as the defensive coordinator, if you did not know. So all these decisions go up to him. And then Rover, I'm really expecting Isaiah Pryor to get a lot more snaps. Of course, he didn't really work out at Ohio State. I think he will start at Rover. Jack Kaiser was really impressive last year in his limited action against USF when he was the starter because the other 2 guys had COVID. Played extremely well. I believe he had 12 or 13 tackles, a sack maybe. Played absolutely phenomenal. He is from Northern Indiana, which is pretty cool too. So shout out to Jack Kaiser. But I think this will be Isaiah Pryor's spot. Never been huge on Paul Moala, I'm not going to lie. And I am huge on Prince Colley. With him not coming early, though, I don't really think he'll do too much, at least this freshman year. Free safety, we have Kyle Hamilton, DJ Brown, and Cargie. This is all Kyle Hamilton. I want to be completely honest. I could even see DJ Brown maybe moving over to strong safety, but I think DJ Brown comes back next year, starts, and then Cargie follows him. Strong safety, this is Houston Griffith's year. I was pretty shocked when he said he would transfer. Sure, these first 3 years for him have not worked out the greatest, maybe 4. But it is what it is. But he comes back this year really with the spot held down. KJ Wallace, not a huge fan of him, I'm going to be completely honest. Didn't play amazing against Clemson or UNC, but Houston Griffiths comes back. Can the former high 4-star contribute? We'll see. I think he will. I think this is actually going to be a big year for him. I think he has a solid year, opposite of Kyle Hamilton. He comes back next year, plays really well, and turns himself into a day 2 pick. I could really see that happening. Boundary corner. Now, the corner is probably the most random position because nobody knows who's going to start other than probably Clarence Lewis. I do expect Notre Dame to run more linebacking sets and maybe only 2 corners on the field at a time. But if I'm going to go out on a limb right now and say Cam Hart will play one, Clarence Lewis will play the other, and then I think Tariq Bracy will play the other. We will see. If they run 3, I think it's Cam Hart, Tariq Bracy, and Clarence Lewis. The field and boundary, I'm not going to get into that. The 3 most talented corners at this point in time are Clarence, Tariq, and Cam. Now, 2021 recruiting guys, if you're on here for recruiting or you're interested in recruiting, this is why. All these guys are 3-stars. Notre Dame has signed 1 4-star corner in the past 4 years, I believe, other than Philip Riley, who's listed right here. He's a freshman. I don't expect him to play that good. I actually think Ryan Barnes, 3-star from Virginia, is better than him, and I think Ryan Barnes could get some good playing time at the boundary corner spot. I think he's probably going to pass Ramon Henderson, and I think he will transfer. But that's besides the point. 3 guys I'd expect to play a lot of corner are Tariq Bracy, Clarence Lewis, and Cam Hart. So, punter, of course, Jay Bramblett. Kicker, Jonathan Dorr. Holder, Jay Bramblett. Long snapper, Michael Vinson. Punt returns. I'm curious to see if Matt Salerno stays in that spot. I thought he actually played really well last year. I love the energy he brings. I definitely could see Lorenzo Styles get returning punts, though. I think if he doesn't get that much time at receiver, Notre Dame and Brian Kelly will want to use him somewhere. And I think there's no better place to use him than at punt return. He's fast, elusive, and you got to get him on the field. You got to get these really talented 5- and 4-star kids on the field, make them happy. And then kick return, like I said earlier, I could see Lorenzo Styles taking some kicks back. But right now, I expect that to be held down by Chris Tyree yet again. He was okay. I'm going to be completely honest. He wasn't anything special. But right now, I think Chris Tyree will take the kicks, and then Lorenzo Styles will take the punts. We'll see. Matt Salerno did an honorable job last year, so I don't know if Brian Kelly sticks with Matt Salerno or goes to the freshman Lorenzo Styles. All right, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like the video. Question any comments recruiting or season-wise, I will answer any single one, and that is